Welcome to GCCars. My name is Eric, and today we're going to take a night POV drive in this 2021 Chevrolet Tahoe Premier. Let's just take a quick look at the exterior before we get started. We'll look at the interior too, but you probably don't see much right now because GoPros are terrible in low light performance. But let's just go through this and take a quick look at the headlights and the taillights. There you go. We got the ones that are basically very much based on the Silverado. It's like a view at the taillights, but I will also just show you a look around of this Tahoe during the day, just so you have a better idea of how it actually looks like instead of just seeing the lights. And I will also give you the stats on the right hand side about this specific Tahoe, because it's equipped with the 3-liter turbo diesel, the Duramax. But let's get back in. And first of all, thank you, stop that. And my god, this ground is pretty dirty and dusty, but it doesn't matter. Okay, let's buckle up. And just before we start, if you want to hear all my thoughts about this specific Tahoe, I got a full review for you up in the top right hand corner where I go over the exterior, the interior, talk to you about how it drives, and we talk about if it's worth the $88,000 Canadian that this specific Tahoe costs. With that out of the way, let's turn off the lights and go for a drive. We got our button, gear switchers, selectors right here, and of course we got a billion cameras, but we'll go more about this in the review. All right, let's turn around. And what do we do in a night POV drive? So we'll do 4 things. First of all, we're going to test the high beams and the automatic. Then we're going to test the headlights themselves. Actually, we're going to 5 things. We're testing the headlights, the high beams, the automatic high beam system. Then we're going to test the acceleration because we're going to do a launch, and then we're going to take a launch around a corner, basically an acceleration around a corner. Just want to see the dynamics and if it breaks the rear loose or not. Let's get started here on the road. So far the regular headlights work pretty well. They do not necessarily have like the best illumination, but they're still pretty good. Like some other LED headlights have some very strong cutoffs at the edge of it, but these still illuminate totally fine, I think. And what's interesting is if you look to the left or the right, you can see like the reflection from some of the headlights internals. Looks pretty interesting. But as soon as we turn this corner, why don't we take a little look at our high beams. Oops, I was a little distracted by something jumping across the bushes there. Pardon that. Okay, we got cars in front of us now. We'll test the high beams in a bit, no worries. Let's just do one little thing which I always like to do in the POV drives, because you have my point of view, right? It's like you were driving here, so why don't we make it so you also hear how it is to drive this by me just being quiet for maybe half a minute. Some of the rattling you're hearing, that's my equipment in my backpack. That's not the Tahoe itself. I noticed it's pretty quiet and there's actually no rattles so far, I've heard. So they really built this pretty well. But let's turn on the high beams. That's our high beams. Let's turn them off again. Turn them on, turn them off, just a little comparison. And the way you turn on the automatic high beams is essentially your left stalk. You just push it backwards or forward, to the front. You just push it, it's enough. You just push it twice, and then you turn on the automatic high beams. If you want to turn them off, just push them twice again. And if you want to turn them on, push it twice. There we go. No, actually, I just did it once too much. There we go. And We don't have stock on the right hand side, which is always funny when I get a new car first. Like first time I'm in the car, I'm just like, oh, let's turn on the windshield wipers. So I'm gonna reach for the right hand side. I was like, oh well, they're not here. So I gotta look at the left hand side. There's some on the road. Mercedes has their column shifter on the right, and we don't have a single stock on the right. So it's always a little bit different, but most of the time it works the same. What you will be noticing though is that the Duramax here, the diesel 3-liter inline 6 turbo diesel, definitely is a little louder than the V8 would be. I gotta look that up, but I'm pretty sure you only have the 5.3-liter V8 as an option, not the 6.2-liter you can get in the Camaro, the Corvette, and the Silverado, which we've tested also already. Really nice. I like that engine a lot. But on the flip side, it might be a little rougher, it might be a little louder, but you average amazing fuel economy. This is mixed highway and city. And I wasn't driving super economically, I'll be honest. Like I've just done this, what we're doing here. So we've done a launch and all a couple of minutes ago. Just my GoPro decided not to record, so I'm shooting this. And we're still sitting at 2.5. This includes launch this acceleration and all that. So if you're only doing highway, you can go really low. I think you can go down to 8 or 9 liters per 100 kilometer. I haven't tested myself yet. But the fuel economy is just amazing for such a big vehicle. So yeah, that's probably a good trade-off, and you pay a little more for the diesel, but you have that in like 1 or 2 years of driving, depending on how much you drive it, and you have the money back. So it's really, really nice with the diesel, even though it might be a little louder. But now we're driving, I've mentioned this before, let's do a little sightseeing. So this bridge, for everybody of you who have seen Queen's Gambit on Netflix, show about chess. You know this bridge, because there's a scene, I haven't seen it myself, but I've been told, there's a scene which includes a car crash, a photo of a car crash, and that is this bridge we've just drove over. So the more you know, I guess, right? And a little more sightseeing here while learning about the Chevy Tahoe 2021. And yeah, we're almost at the spot where that's what you hear, right? That's what I meant. So the diesel is a little louder. Once it settles down, and you're idling about, or not idling, but you're driving around like 1,200, 1,300 revolutions per minute, it's nice and quiet. But if the rev's a little higher, or you accelerate, you definitely hear a bit of the roughness of the diesel. Let's drive through here. Almost at the spot where we do want to do the acceleration. Also, if you want to know more about this Tahoe, we not only have a review, we also have a highway POV drive where we drive it on the highway. Ideally, we're going to take the on-ramp a little more spirited and see how it handles, because this Tahoe, I did it when I was driving here. Like, it's ridiculous how well this Tahoe handles. I mean, it's a 3-row SUV, but for a 3-row SUV, it is absolutely ridiculous how good it turns in and drives around corners. I understand why the Secret Service and the FBI take this, because it's insane how good it turns. It has no business doing it this well, but you see that in the highway POV drive. And we also do a walk around, which is basically like you walking into a dealership and taking a look yourself, where I show you everything about the exterior and the interior of the trunk and the engine bay. Let's see if Buddy follows us. Buddy follows us. Okay, that's not what we want, because we do need to stop on the road for a few seconds. So right here is a good spot. Let's just indicate to the right and slow down and let him pass. There we go. Let's wait a few seconds so he doesn't think we're following him specifically. Okay, that should be fine. We're not creepy anymore. We also have the digital rear view mirror, pardon me. You won't be seeing anything right now, because I'm also not seeing much in there. And especially with the GoPro, like I said, GoPros are terrible in low light conditions. You won't see much here right now, but you would also not see anything if I turn it off. You'd probably see even less. But it's a very nice feature. I love digital rear view mirrors. They're great. But as we're about to do our launch, let's just start preparing. So first of all, let's turn off start and stop. There we go. Also, let's put it into 4 high because we do want to have a full-on launch. Don't want to be limited by rear traction. And we're going to turn off traction control itself with the simple press of a button. Don't need to hold anything, don't need to do anything fancy. Do not need to perform a rain dance. You literally just have to press the button once and it's off. That's how I like it. And now here we are at our spot. So let's come to a stop and accelerate. We're on even ground, perfect. Come to a stop, and we're going to brake torque it. Pretty good. Pretty good. Honestly, we've got 233 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. This is a lot quicker than I initially expected this Tahoe to be, because it's not that much horsepower. It's not that much horsepower. Let's put it into 2 high. So for it to still be this quick, I mean, it's only like 7.5 seconds to 100, so 60 miles an hour, 100 kilometers an hour. So it's definitely not fast, but if you care about fast, you get the V8 option, right? That's going to be a lot faster. This is more the economical option, the diesel. But it's still plenty quick. The only thing I noticed is that the transmission shifts pretty slowly from first to second to second to third. Interestingly enough, because if I'm not flooring it, I feel like it's actually faster with the shifts. So that's definitely that definitely takes a toll on the 0 to 60. But still, it's totally fine for 3-row SUV. You don't need more power than this. What we want to do now is turn left and accelerate and see if our rear steps out or not. I don't think so because we don't have that much horsepower. We're pretty heavy. We'll see. Traction motors is off. Tiny bit. So there was a bit of slip. Let's turn it back. Traction control and auto start stop. So there was a little slip in the rear, but it didn't really rotate. There was a teeny tiny bit of rotation coming around, but just like I expected, we don't have enough horsepower to rotate the back around and make it step out. Just too heavy, the Tahoe here, especially on the rear wheels, just a little too heavy for them to really get out of it and get out of shape and just rotate. But like I said, this is not a critique. That's not a critique. This is a 3-row SUV. The only reason why we even test this is just, first of all, because we can, and it's fun. And secondly, because I do it with all vehicles. It's just kind of part of the routine, just for me to kind of find out a little more about the car, truck in this case, and see how its dynamics are and all that. Because, you know, these kind of tests I do with every single car just to be able to compare them. But yeah, it's totally fine. Acceleration is adequate, I think. And like I said, the handling of this thing is actually way too good. Way too good. I was laughing my bum, let's say my bum to be a little more friendly, off for like a good minute after I've taken the on-ramp. It's just so ridiculous how quick this thing turns and corners. Anyhow, with that, we're actually already at the end of our POV drive. Done a few little things. There's baseball going on if anyone wants to see that. I can just turn it around. We're just going to look at this. No, but it's already at the end. Let's just summarize real quick. Headlights and high beams, I think, work pretty well. The automatic high beam assist is very quick to turn on and off the lights, unlike some other high beam assists, which literally still require you to take action, turn it off manually, because it's too slow and you blind other people, which kind of defeats the whole purpose. Acceleration is more than adequate, and nope, we do not get the rear to step out, even if we floor it around the corner like, I'm not going to say a bad word here, like somebody who's not as intelligent as he should be, if I'm paraphrasing that well. Anyhow, let's put it in the park, and that's a drive in the 2021 Tahoe. Like I said, the full review, where I go with interior, exterior, how it drives, and if it's worth the money, the $88,000 you need to pay for this Tahoe. It's in the top left-hand corner for you right now. Then we got a video that the YouTube algorithm selects for you just below that, and in the top right hand corner you can subscribe, because if you like the video, I'd greatly appreciate if you could first of all like the video. That way you tell YouTube that you like the video and will be recommended to other people. And if you subscribe and hit the bell, you won't miss any more videos, because we upload reviews every single day, every single week, and we got about 4 videos coming every week. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you liked it. If you liked it, make sure to subscribe, like I said, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.